Hello, and welcome to Dogma Discussions. If you're new to the channel, what I do is post videos periodically where I talk about different types of dogma. Started out as religious dogma and has moved into a lot of different dogmas. So please give me a like. It helps with the YouTube algorithms. Leave me a comment. I'll answer your comment. And share the video and subscribe. All right. So the topic I have for today, so what I do is I tell a story or just talk about a concept. And so here we go. One today is called the Dogma of Love. What is love? Many people say it's all you need, that it's eternal, that all you have to do is believe and it will come to you, as if it's some primal force in the universe, always there, accessible. And that is the dogma, that love is beyond normal emotions, that it's transcendent. Is that true? No, it's not. Love is, honestly, not different from normal emotions and not all that special. Like all other emotions, it's based on experience of another person, and believing it to be something different is naive and can cause harm. To understand it better, let's go to the basis of our concept of love from the Greeks. For the sake of this discussion, I have categorized the major types into innate, natural, and romantic love. Innate love is something inborn, meaning that we have it by nature of being human. To the Greeks, this was agape. Agape is the unconditional, universal love that is felt for humanity in general. We might also call it kindness or compassion, that sense of caring for another person because of our shared humanity. Currently, it's more commonly associated with Christianity, which expanded the definition from universal love for humankind to love that is between God and man, as well as among Christians, and it's unconditional. Yet, can we really love someone else without conditions? Say you enter into a business deal with someone in the church, something I observed in my time as a Christian, and one party takes advantage of the other. Is the disadvantaged partner supposed to just let it go? No conditions, right? That seems a bit doormatish, doesn't it? When I asked a church leader about this situation, which I had observed occur between two members, I was told that agape works when both people are true Christians, which prevents either from taking advantage. Would that it were true. Despite church's best efforts to promote this idea, we are who we are, and becoming a Christian doesn't make a person better than before conversion, unfortunately. Thus, trusting in agape to protect you from predators can leave you open to abuse. The next category is natural love, an acceptance that you feel for someone despite their flaws. In the Greek, storge is this type of love and is felt for family members. On the surface, it would seem to be the most natural type of love, for who doesn't love his or her family? Well, lots of people actually. Consider the children mistreated or abandoned by their family members. Sadly, these children carry those scars for the rest of their lives. How many people do you know who don't trust their parents or siblings? Often, society judges these folks as if they're not trying enough to nurture those relationships. But it takes two to tango, so how about we show compassion for those folks instead of judgment? Sadly, under societal or familial pressure, people often keep relationships with family members who, if not related to us, would never receive our time or attention. Thus, people will open themselves to problems by sticking by their family no matter what, to the point of their own demise. And for what? Some archaic view of devotion to someone based on a concept of love that has no foundation in reason? No. It's an emotion and not a good one to indulge in if it leaves you vulnerable. Consider my friend Jane, who would do anything for her little brother. At the time I knew her, she was almost 40 and he 30. And when he called her and said he couldn't make rent, she gave him hundreds of dollars, which he used for rent? No, a new iPhone. And she was frustrated, but he was family, and she felt she had to forgive and forget. But true storge must develop over time through consistent care, loyalty, and trust between both parties. Else, it's not there, despite what people express to each other. Another type of natural love is philautia, or self-love. On first glance, it seems healthy to love oneself despite our flaws, doesn't it? Well, perhaps. Taking care of and looking out for yourself can be positive unless you're so delusional in your self-love that you're unable to see your own flaws and self-correct your own behavior. Returning to my prior point about family, if a parent is so focused on philautia rather than storge that the child's needs are ignored, then I hope that we could agree that's bad. And sadly, people who grow up with that kind of parent often lack a healthy self-esteem, which is the positive version of philautia. And finally, what about romantic love, aka eros? Oh, the passion. Merely thinking about someone can ignite this love, and it burns so brightly that it can dominate your thoughts to the exclusion of everything and everyone else. Yet, what causes this sexual attraction between people? Academics have spilt much ink analyzing the reasons for one's romantic choices. It's from our parents, hormones, physical attractiveness, evolution, etc. Regardless of the reason, most of us have experienced its seductiveness and raw power. Yet even more interesting is the transition many couples make from eros to progma, the type of love of long-term relationships. For some in these couplings, the passion remains over time, but for many, it wanes. People experiencing progma will often let themselves go and take the other for granted, foregoing even attempting sex and intimacy, becoming nothing more than roommates. But how does that initial, amazing, knock your socks off kind of love just die? Isn't it eternal, transcendent, beyond human mechanization? You can't make someone love you, right? It just happens like a flash of lightning, and it's indestructible, isn't it? Or not? Recently, a good friend of mine, Johnny, was asked by his wife, Jeannie, for a divorce. They had been living separately for a while, his job having taken him to another state. He and his wife had made efforts to see each other frequently, talk every day on the phone, and to always end their calls with those magical 3 words, I love you. To everyone around them, their love was palpable, despite the distance. Yet, while Johnny's love for Jeannie was still rooted in eros, hers had transitioned over time to progma. It's late one Friday night. I'm watching a movie, unable to sleep, and the phone rings. Let me take you to that moment. Hey, Vincent, it's Johnny. Johnny, my main man, good to hear from you. What's up? When he answers, his voice is low, strained. Jeannie wants a divorce. What? My shock is real because they have been a solid couple for 20 plus years. The other end of the phone is silent, so I continue. I'm sorry to hear that, my friend. What happened? Well, I don't know, dude. I mean, she called me and started saying how maybe we should move on with our lives, that she loved me but is not in love with me anymore, whatever that means. I roll my eyes but remain silent, thinking, oh, that dreaded phrase. I want to explain to him that it means she cares about him but doesn't want to have sex with him anymore, that she's probably found someone else, that it's over. But I say nothing out of respect for his pain. Johnny's wife, Jeannie, once said to me that all relationships are based on exchange, that each person receives something from the other for their time, energy, whatever. Yet, in my experience, that's not true for all types of love. One can help others selflessly through agape, but not receive anything from those being helped. For instance, you might donate money anonymously for the poor, only receiving personal satisfaction from the act of giving. Likewise, you may consistently be there for a very needy sibling who never gives anything in return, but also never harms you. And you may feel this love because you were raised together and the relationship was nurtured by your parents as it is. Yet there's no exchange. But romantic love is different. At Jeannie's request, she and Johnny agreed to remain friends, which only lasted about 6 months, until it came to light that she had been seeing another man. To his credit, Johnny tried to understand, blaming himself for moving away, but without children or other connections that demanded communication, the friendship soon faded away. So, how does romantic love just die? Is it like a plant that, if not watered, withers away? Is it based on fit, and when people change, it just ends? Or is romantic love, in particular, merely opportunistic, the one that fits Jeannie's definition of an exchange relationship the best? One that is based on a connection that is advantageous to both parties. And as long as that benefit continues, so does the love. Yet, like in Johnny's and Jeannie's marriage, once one person in that exchange no longer sees the advantage, it's over. Just like that. So that's my story for today. I thank you for listening. Again, please hit the like button. Subscribe to my channel, leave me a comment, and share the video with someone else. Until next time, this is Vincent. Good night.